Hello, everybody. Reggie Time here, and in just a moment, we're going to be looking at about 10 or 11 hands that I've marked from my last week's play on the GG Poker 25 and L Streets and Party Poker 25 and L Streets. I'm playing these games on the side of the games I play in the app club I'm involved with. Um, I've made a lot of alterations to my game over the past few months. Um, a lot of it is relatively regressive in a lot of ways, like undoing a lot of the things I built into my game over the last 2 years, which I felt made me a significantly worse player on upon review. Mostly just me badly interpreting GTO strategies and then applying them even worse. It just made me a worse player, um, without question. But what it has done and what that the work I've done since, like the regressive work I've done, but then also added some things. It's made me realize pretty much everyone at low stakes poker stinks, myself included. That's not to say that I'm like doing something amazing and nobody else is. Just everybody fucking stinks. Um, there's loads and loads of players. A good chance if you're watching this that you're just someone who's studied charts, who's studied a little bit of GTO Wizard, who thinks they're good at poker, um, but probably just fucking isn't. You're probably just a bit shit. I mean, why would you be watching this if you're any fucking good? Doesn't make sense. Um, and I was one of those players, massively one of those players. Like just trying too hard to execute upon a strategy that I didn't really understand and that I applied really badly. Um, there's too much to go into now, but there's an absolute avalanche of really shit regulars out there these days who are kind of doing GTO type strategies, but by half measure. They're wanting to use GTO sizes. They're taking like GTO ish lines pre flop and post flop, but they're just focusing mostly on what GTO does for value and not for what GTO does as a bluff because the value bit's fucking easy and the bluff bit's fucking difficult. Then there's a whole array of turn and river sizing tells that people still have because they they've not studied well enough to understand, right, okay, what is my size on these particular nodes, etc. So basically everyone's still shit. They're just a bit more, they're just a bit tighter, and in some cases a little bit more aggressive, but only with still leaning way too heavily towards the value region and not being particularly well balanced. Um, and I'm out there trying to exploit the shitter eggs, and obviously the fish are always going to be fish. They will mimic some things they see, um, because that's just what fish do. But they'll always be fish. It's the shitty regs. It's the guys who are there and they want to be like Captain Aggro. They want to be Captain GTO, but then they're too fucking cowardly to do it. Uh, Me absolutely being one of those types of players, but I'm aware of it, whereas some other people aren't. I mean, I'm in plenty of communities, and people will swear up and down that they're good and they're not. They'll swear up and down that they have plenty of bluffs in certain spots and they don't. It's just people continually bullshitting themselves. Um, and I think a lot of that's to do with the content creation that's going on these days. I think there's only one content creator worth watching on YouTube at the moment if you're a low stakes cash game player, and that is Hungry Horse. I think the rest of fucking range from being good intentions but bad to just frankly fucking snake oil salesmen just shilling their shitty coaching and their shitty overpriced businesses and riding that as long as they can, whilst never posting their own results, whilst never actually playing much themselves. Frankly, just slimy scumbags, and there's plenty of them. Not going to call any out, but it wouldn't take a huge amount of guessing to, if you're familiar with the YouTube low stakes poker content creators, wouldn't take a huge amount of guesswork to see who those people are. I actually think people like Hungry Horse and Charlie Carroll are really good for micro stakes cash game players from like 5 NL through to 50 NL, maybe even 100 NL. Who knows? But we're not going to rant too much on about that. I might do a video one day exposing some of them because they really get on my nerves because they're greedy. They're out there. Like, you can't argue with the stuff they're saying and what they're trying to encourage people to do, but they don't do it themselves. They don't put the fucking grind in. They don't put the work in. They don't post fucking winning graphs. But they're still saying, come, give me fucking X amount of pounds per month, pay me 3 figures plus for coaching, because I'm a personality and I have a profile, and not because the things I teach are easy to apply and will help you win. But that's for a different day. Onto these hands of a basic ABC knit reg trying to get the job done. So we have the 10s here. We 3-bet the button. Note that I'm 4x 3-betting. My reason for 4x 3-betting is I know I'm not finding enough bluffs. So my range is basically weighted more towards like value 3-bets. And I also know that people under 4-bet and call too much. So I'm just using 4x 3-bets for that reason. We get a call here. This actually might have been on a previous video, actually. So we'll rush through this one. This might have been on the live video that I made. In fact, it was. So we'll just quickly skip through this one. We flop a set. We c-bet. They call. We still have a set. We barrel. They call. And then we river quads. We're all in. They call. And they had ace queen. That one, sorry, you've seen that one before. There may be a couple of these you've seen before. Until we get to the party poker hands, maybe. Let's rearrange this HUD again. So here we have 2 8s. We open 2.5x. I've actually been opening 3x on party poker. Again, people don't 3-bet widely enough, but they call too much. So just make larger pots, basically. If people aren't going to 3-bet you wide enough, we just open a little bit larger from a slightly narrower range, and then we fold more to 3-bets. Really basic, simple strategy. Also, really effective. We're going to check our entire range here on King 4, King 4, not with the intention of folding. Checks through, turn Queen, check again, player checks back, river full house, check, going for the check raise. Our villain finally takes the bait and bets quite big. We whack a raise in now, hoping that he's just to kind of like the 28/1. So hoping he just made a big mistake with King X, just like let us get there, like trap, then let us get there and walk into his own trap. Nice check raise, but I think Queen X maybe calls here too from a 28/1 type player. Then he does that. He like 3-bets non all in, and all of a sudden it's rough. I remember this happened specifically, and I was like, well, fuck my tits. We have to call because he might just have ace. He's 21-1, 28-1. He could have ace king here. He can have king jack, king 10, maybe even a queen that bets but then doesn't do this. So not a queen for doing this. So he's basically saying here, I have at least a king. The issue is, does he have a king with the queen? And that's just too little to be scared of. We have to pay it off. But unfortunately, on this occasion, he did have the king queen, and good for him. Oh, fuck my tits with these fucking things. Sorry if you can hear the messenger in the background. I shall pause the video and close it because it's annoying me, and no doubt it's annoying you. Here we go. We have the jack and the 9. We're going to open the button. This must still be GG because we're 2.5xing. We get 3-bet, but very small from the big blind who's playing this. I might have had more stats at the table, but this is just a very clear indication that we're up against a fish. We obviously defend because the price is just too good. Flop ourselves a flush draw. Your man now c-bets for half pot. Nothing he's done so far is telling me he's got an especially strong hand. That the small 3-bet pre is usually indicative of like a a playable hand. Then the half pot c-bet on 5-4-3. I would expect to see like checks or larger bets a lot of the time. I think we can go either way here, call or raise. Maybe lean towards calling against someone who I think might be fishy and sticky. Let's see, we do call. Turn the flush, which is nice. He now bets one big blind. We raise, they call. Board pairs a river, but I mean, the guy, if he's got a value hand from pre-flop, it's probably going to just be something like aces, kings, queens, jacks, etc. If he's got a flush or a full house, good for him. He now bets this. We just put the rest in. He calls, and he had that, which is an interesting way to play it. Right, now we're on to party poker, so we can arrange these hoods and lock them, so we don't have to rearrange them every hand. So we have the kings open from a player under the gun. We go with our 4x 3-bet. Cold call from the big blind. And the undergun raise gets out of the way. These cold calls, depends on the player. He's obviously, as a fish, he's not reloading. He's cold calling at the big blind versus under the gun and button. But we don't know. I mean, typically you would assign this raise to be probably most pocket pairs, then some like ace queen, ace jack suited, those types of hands, like decent broadways, but not top of range broadways like ace king. But it could be a lot wider depending on just how fishy this player is. It could be as wide as fucking 6-5 suited and what have you. I don't know who the player is now, and I certainly don't remember the hand. So I can't indicate as to how wide I thought he was doing this. But we don't think it's a strong range. He checks. I think the only question here is, do we want to play a 2-street game or a 3-street game? If we want to play a 2-street game, then we just need to bet pot now and shove turn. If we're willing to play a 3-street game, then we can get away with betting a lot smaller. We do go with the smaller bet. We get called. Check. We're just going to bet again. We get called. And river. Oh, river we get led into. And obviously we have a trivial call. And wow, we just keep running into badly played ace-jack suited. Next hand, pocket sixes. We're opening to 3 big blinds, as I said. We get a call and a fold. We flop a set. We're going to check our entire range here. What, Reg? Right, this isn't in keeping with what I've been doing. I must have thought this player was particularly passive, because I would just check raise here all day normally. I'm big proponent of just checking my entire range out of position, unless I think someone's passive. So I must have had a read that this guy was passive. It only says 2 hands here. This will just have been from this play at this table. Maybe he was at other tables too. This is me stepping outside my range check strategy. So there will have been a reason for this in game. The man calls. Turn a flush. Turn brings a potential flush. Can't be too scared about that, but I think now we need to start checking. This is what we do. And now your man bets out for whatever the fuck that is. We have the easy call, of course. River 3, we're going to continue checking. And he bets 2/3 pot again. And this size usually means it doesn't mean bluff very often. Normally bluffs are either like really quite big or on the cheap side. This could be like Queen X, Queen Jack. I don't think Jack X. It could be a flush, of course, but I would expect flushes to maybe be a bit greedier, both on turn and on river. This reeks of Queen X to me. I don't remember the hand at all, but this reeks of Queen X to me. It's just whether we can think about raising here or not, or clearly never folding. But can we raise here and get called by a worse hand? I mean, the dream scenario is he's got a hand like pocket fours or Queen Jack. We can get value from those hands. Does King Queen or Ace Queen pay off on this river? Depends on the player, I suppose. Some will, some won't. Looking back now, I think I like a little click here, like a small raise, and then vomit violently if you get jammed on. If I could have this hand back, and I don't know what I'm about to do, but I'm pretty confident I'm not going to click, I would like to literally just min click this, or just over min click it. Then we're going to get jammed on by flushes, but that's all we're going to get jammed on, you would imagine. I imagine I'm just going to call, but I think I like click fold. We do just call. And we were up against a complete bluff, so we wouldn't have been paid any more no matter what we did. Queen 10 suited. We face an open from who wouldn't have been unknown at the table, but he's unknown for the purposes of this video because I don't fucking remember. We call, we flop second pair, we check. Villain bets around 3/4 pot. We can't fold yet, so we just call. Turn a flush draw. We check. Your man now bets big again. I think when the 3x big C bet, big turn barrel comes in, I think fold equity isn't really existing. So like raising here to try and get somebody to fold an overpair or a jack probably isn't very wise. We're just getting like decent enough odds to call. We're probably behind. Don't know if a queen would give us the best hand. The 10 probably would. A diamond almost certainly would. So we just have to call. We do river the queen. I don't know if we can block here. Probably not, because theoretically, player 4 has threes, jacks, queens, queen, jack, and ace, king in range. Yeah, just check reg. And then decide. Villain now bets again. I don't think we get to fold with 2 pairs here. Do we still beat value? Maybe. Depending on the player, they could be capable of like value betting king queen here, ace queen, things like that. And we obviously beat some bluffs, so I think we just call and get on with our day. We do call, and this player had king jack, so like massively overplaying the river there. No idea what that river bet was, apart from just a pretty bad merge. Ace 7 suited. Now I remember this, and it's from last night. These stats, quite frankly, cannot be right, because this player is, for anyone who's familiar with the party poker pool, it's the Are You Kidding M, whatever it is, numbers at the end. He's a ball ache of a player. He's, in my opinion, I'm just going to say it, a shit reg. He's like old, like the kind of, this can't be the right player. It just fucking can't be. Says player 2. It's way more likely that this is the player. And these things are just fucking wrong. Because this player I'm thinking about does not play 34/fucking 8. I think this is the hand anyway. I think we're going to get 3 bet here. Yeah. These stats can't be right. They must be in the wrong place, or they've been attributed to the wrong player or something. Anyways, this is who this player is. In my opinion, they're just shit reg who's quite deep down the I'm just going to be an aggro bastard pre-flop thing, because that's fucking easy. I could just study charts and do that. And then post-flop, street by street, their game gets progressively worse, like it all does, like it does for all of us. I think I should still just fold this hand pre or 4-bet it. I didn't, I called. This is my first mistake, and then this is going to mushroom into a bigger and bigger mistake. I think I should just be more decisive pre-flop. Just 4-bet bluff pre, or just fold the hand, because he's one of the better players in the pool. By shit reg, I don't mean he's shit. I just mean he's a shit reg, like the usual poker parlance for that. Bit salty probably as well from me. We just don't need to be like getting into pissing contests with some of the more aggro shit regs in what are relatively soft games. But we made a mistake and we decided to continue pre in a passive way. We flop second pair, we check. Your man bets like 1/3 pot, whatever that is, we call. Turn 10 of spades. I expect to see an awful lot of like checking back here from a well-studied player, or maybe using big bets. I don't know. He comes with this size. This might be theory approved. I don't fucking know. And what's more, I don't really care. When I see this size, I don't really give it an awful lot of credit for being like a nutted hand. Because I just think humans just bet bigger with nutted hands, frankly. If he's got like a nutted hand, he just wants to be all in. And it's going to be hard to be all in when we just call here. Call we do. River is a 9. We check. And now he goes all in. And I think this is where I make my biggest mistake in the hand. Because I just took my turn read of he's not nutted and decided to fucking call here. And I think this is like a pretty big blunder versus a human at the micro stakes. Because even if this player is one of the more aggressive players in the pool, and he is, and even if I think his turn and river play are quite shit, and it is, we still don't need to be paying off fucking almost 2x pot river jams with pure bluff catchers on a fucking 4 flush board. This is a horrendous call by me. I made it right at the start of the session too, which pissed me off. And of course we lost. We just lost to the ace of spades. And trips. I mean, they talk about having the fucking lot there. So yeah, nice hand to him. The turn play is what got him paid here. And fair play to him. Absolutely fair play to him. Mike river call is fucking atrocious. Ace queen. We open, we get call, we get min 3 bet by some obvious fish. We 4 bet to try and isolate or just take the pot down pre-flop. He calls. 6-4-3. This should be a range bet in theory. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to I'd much rather play this hand as a check shove or a check call than a C bet, because I think like versus C bet, player 6 is just going to play quite well. Versus check, I think they're going to play worse. Frankly, I think they're going to make more mistakes versus check than they are versus bet. So I'm just going to check to allow them to make more mistakes. We do check, they check back. Turn jack, continuing checking with the intention of maybe calling depending on size. Checks back again. River king. We check. Villain now bets for like half pot ish. Not in love with it, but I mean, they can still have lots of shitty hands here. I mean, what's happened so far is min 3 bet pre. He's called a squeeze and checked all the way to the river. We block ace king, we block king queen. Not that that fucking matters very much in reality. But I don't think we could play our hand this way and then fold river for half pot versus this line. We've checked to induce mistakes over 3 streets, and now we just have to what we've induced one. So we do call, and he just had a random ace 9. Pocket 6s, we open. We get 2 callers. We get a deuce queen 4 flop, check. We're obviously checking. Your man checks back. Turn 5, check, check. He now bets 2/3 pot. We turn some equity, so we're going nowhere. River 10, we check. And now he bets whatever the fucking hell that is, like quarter pot, nearly just over quarter pot. This is almost never a strong hand. But what it is going to be is quite fucking mergy. I mean, yeah, we can just call here because we beat some random bullshit. We need to win like 19% of the time, according to Hold'em Manager, in order for this call to be break even. But given I think people are quite mergy, there's going to be some like thinner value bet slash merges in there. But there could also just be a 5 in there as well that's doing this. In hindsight, I think I prefer call. I ended up fucking spewing a bit here. I did a bit of shit thinking, which was, I block 6-7. I block 6-3 or whatever. I just looked at my blockers basically, looked at my 2 6s and like, these seem like good cards to bluff with because I'm a fucking idiot when we can just call and do just fine. This is a mistake, almost for certain. I'm trying to make him fold a slightly better hand here, like 7s, 8s, 9s. No, probably not going to fold a queen, but we're not trying to make him fold a queen. Don't see how they can have a 10 because they bet the turn. But maybe sometimes they just bet the turn with Jack 10 of spades and then hit a 10 and go for this. So I'm basically trying to make him fold his entire range that isn't a queen or better. I decided to go with the big boy bluff. And basically, I'm just looking for the range fold here. And we didn't get it because they had king pre-flop, which I wasn't factoring into the equation. So nice hand to them. Last hand, ace jack suited. We open. Get a min 3-bet from the big blind. We call because we're in position. We face a 75% pot c-bet. Easy call. We face a downsize on the turn. This is one of the most reliable tells in all of poker against versus like recreational, fun, fish, whales, whoppers, morons, fucking whatever you want to call them. This is a very reliable tell that I still want to be aggressive, but I'm losing confidence, so I'm going to bet smaller. I'm very confident we have the best hand here. We call river break, and again they go even smaller as a percentage of the pot. I think we should just be all in here. That's a mistake. We just need to be all in. We just got the best hand like 85% of the time. When we get called, we still have the best hand like 70% of the time. I think this is a mistake from me. I think we should shove. As it happens, he might not have called. Who knows? But yeah, I think we should have shoved that river. So yeah, we've made some mistakes in some of those hands, but it's going well. Like, I can't complain with how the year's going so far. My volume's quite low because my focus is on the app games, but I have started recently for tabling party poker on the side of the app because I want to have a really good year of poker. I want to make a lot of money. I want to be really profitable in everything I play and do. I'm 51 now. I probably don't have many more years left in me being able to grind hard. And I want to capitalize on what little edge I have for as long as I have it. I just want to capitalize on it. I just want to like play. And, maybe in a couple of years' time, 3-4 years' time, maybe I'm just not good enough to win anymore. Who knows? So I really want to, if I can make another 50 or 60 grand in the next 3 or 4 years from poker, be it on the app, be it on micro stakes, be it by my, involved in my the money I make from the app, not from playing, but just by being involved in it, etc. That's not going to be around forever. I need to stay sharp. Yeah, I just want to make 50, 60 grand in the next 2 or 3 years and just put myself in a position where I can just retire before government pension age, basically. I have no intention to work right up until government pension age. I'd very much like to retire before then, and in order to do that, I just need some extra money behind me. So that's my goals for the next few years is just stay busy, try and stay sharp, stay active, and then if I feel at some point I start losing my sharpness just because of age, etc., then I would consider just retiring from poker because one thing I'm not going to ever do is just become a recreational losing poker player. The minute I feel I'm not plus EV anymore, I'm just done with the game. Maybe I'd still go and play the occasional fucking live game or something, but I wouldn't grind online. So yeah, we've hopefully got a busy few years ahead, put the finishing touches to my retirement plan, and yeah, but that's just a ramble now. I'm out of here. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Hopefully I'm going to be able to make at least 2 or 3 of these a week. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed them. Take care and bye-bye for now.